What's it like to care about sports? Oh man.
Well, you're like witnessing it right now.
I know.
Like this. Is
I
what
think
it
you guys need your own podcast about sports.
Just to
and just
complain.
only when the Saints are playing.
Only when the Saints are playing.
You'll be
Right.
entertained. And
Right.
other times you'll be having a good time.
Kamara beefed it today.
Everybody beefed it.
I've been using beef a lot. I like the word beef.
Everybody beefed it.
Beefed it, dude. Just straight beef.
They all chickened it.
They all, man. Don't get me started on Biff Tannen.
Is that a real person?
Biff in it.
Biff Tannen?
Biff Tannen is a fictional character from Back to the Future.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
He's the real true hero to that in that movie.
Yeah, he is.
Is he? Are you trying to be unlikable before we even
Well, no.
start?
I mean, if it wasn't for
Jesus.
Biff Tannen, then the uprising of George McFly wouldn't have been possible.
Can we also just talk about real quick before we get to it, how hard it was for him to understand that he had the almanac for the longest time. He was just like trying to throw it in his back seat, all this shit when
Yeah.
his older self came in. And I know
Get
this
him
is
a Carl,
I know
man.
this is Back to the Future too, but like, come on, dude, you had the best thing ever, and like now you come in and you're like the smartest guy, but like you were so dumb and you almost beefed it.
Yeah.
To use your words.
Yeah, exactly. Beef. I like that solid use of beef.
He almost
I'm
beefed
going
it.
to say
dude.
first off.
So,
But
you mean Biff almost beefed it?
Beef. Remember when?
Biff almost
remember
beefed
when
it.
old Biff came to young Biff and he was like, "Here's the answers to all the games," and he was like, "Whatever." And He
Right.
was like throwing it in the back seat. It's like you almost lost this book so many times.
he just like
Right.
tossed it in the back seat.
Well,
He's
good
like,
thing-
why don't you make like a
'Cause he was-
tree
and
and get out of here? He's like, it's
yeah.
leave.
It's like
You sound like a damn
You sound like a
fool.
damn idiot.
yeah, because he was such an idiot. Like how and that just goes to show why Donald Trump is president, because like you could be a big dumb bozo
Yeah, they even
the
did
whole
like
time,
they even
and
did,
like
like, a
you'll
fake
still make
thing.
it in the end. Yeah.
This is like a fake thing. You know that scene in Back to the Future Part 2 where Marty's like standing in front of the Biff Tower. And
Yeah.
they're doing the whole like behind the scene thing about Biff. It's like Biff started out as a young spontaneous man and just like
Made his first
and
million
then
on a horse
they
bet.
converted it into like Trump. And they made it look just like it was hilarious.
I
It was
did
Right.
not see that. You
It's
gotta send
so
me a
good.
link to
Yeah.
that shit.
So,
dude.
It's
Yeah.
on the tube.
It's on the tube.
point of the story is Back to the Future predicted Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's the Biff Tannen of presidents.
Exactly.
Nailed
100%.
it. Nailed it.
Yeah.
All right.
And we are Marty McFly.
we
as
are
Americans.
all Marty McFlys as
Yeah.
Americans.
Just trying to figure out how the fuck we're going to change
How
the
to solve the
timeline.
problem.
Try not to
Solve the
accidentally
problem.
But
have
in the-
sex with our mom.
Yeah.
In the end, we win.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take a minute.
Yeah.
And shit's gonna go wrong.
We need a Doc Brown.
We need a Doc
Oh
Brown.
my god.
We need
America-
a disgraced nuclear physicist.
It's
And we gotta
disgrace.
steal plutonium.
Oh my god. Yes.
I gave him a bunch of used parts of pinball machine parts.
I think we got plenty of plutonium. So
Yes.
um,
Let's get this thing rolling, shall we?
let's get the thing rolling.
We're gonna do the thing. Hey guys, I'm Jessica Mulder, and this is the Hardway Pod. Welcome. It's the new year. It's 2020. We're starting this thing out in an unconventional way that you're used to. And I say we in the collective we because Nick Kaminsky is no longer with us. He's not dead. He's just not co-hosting with me anymore. He's busy. He's got shit to do, you know? He has another podcast. Sometimes you just got to go rogue on your own, which is what I'm doing. But we're here and we're starting it off not on video. So thankfully you can't see that I look homeless and I've been drinking out of a cup of wine and switched to beer. Whatever. Not a big deal. But we're going to start with a few different things. One, I have my first fan submission of a Hardway story. So we're going to read that. And then my guests today are Travis Pavur, recording engineer and recording artist, also my boyfriend, poor guy, and Justin Walker, recording artist. They're both in a band called The Writer Rights. They're awesome. We'll talk about that at the end when we do the whole what do you want to promote thing. But welcome, guys.
Hey.
Welcome.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
for having us.
And luckily, they're still here despite talking about sports for the first 10 minutes before the podcast.
Luckily, you're still here, right?
started. Yes. This is Travis's studio, so
Right.
I'm
This
lucky
this
that-
studio, fun fact, is where we recorded that fun little kazoo tune that you heard right before this.
Yes, good point.
And Justin Walker is the man behind the kazoo.
How you
Oh my
doing?
God,
It's
we
all-
got to
it's all-
find the kazoo before the end of it. And
It's right up there, actually.
Justin is going to outro this motherfucking thing.
We'll
with a
play it live.
kazoo,
Sure will. I'll certainly
bitches.
do it.
Yeah. So yes, I've got the people here that made the intro song. They're the best people that I know. It's all very exciting. And I'm not gonna just like say the title of the episode in the beginning anymore. Or maybe I am sometimes, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just happy to be here. So for now, let's read our first
cracking
Hardway
beers.
Pod listener submission of
right.
Hardway lessons, and then we'll talk about that. And I'm gonna read this like word for word with mini pauses because I'm not gonna take his situation and add to it. This is already bad enough.
Okay,
frankly.
but so the submission was he submitted it to you for you to read it on,
Yeah,
your,
via
on the
email.
podcast?
Because I always tell people, and still, please email thehardwaypod@gmail if you have a Hardway story and you're not in LA and can't come on the podcast, and I will do this and I will read it. So, from Carter Adams, Hardway Pod listener and fan, is
Great.
what he'd like to be referred to as. He sent me a story called "If It's Too Good to Be True, It Probably Is." Okay.
That's juicy.
All right. Here we go. In January 2018, my then fiance and I moved from Brevard County, Florida. Full disclosure, I'm a horrible Florida person by birth with no plans to leave. I'm also a horrible Florida person, but I left. So anyway,
Hitting the
continue.
ground running there.
I know.
And not even by birth. So
I know. That's true. That's true.
you're fine.
Way to remember stuff I didn't, babe. Jeez. All right.
Come on, babe.
Anyway, to continue.
Babe, stop it. This is going to be like this the whole podcast.
No.
Wow.
All right. Anyhoozle. To help with the move and keeping us on our feet, she had a job already, but I didn't. The month before, I had cashed out all my savings bonds and whatnot and ended up with a low yet not unimpressive to me amount in my bank account. Updated my resume and put it out there to the folks who would take me with minimal experience, but lots of loyalty and no college degree. Damn. By the time everyone got together for Christmas, I got to talking with a representative from a hospital about a work-from-home data entry job, along with great benefits and a comfortable paycheck. We end up making the move in mid-January, and I start getting checks to cover the cost of the hardware and proprietary software I'm told to use for the job. Uh-oh. I deposit the checks in my bank account, then send them to a third party. You'd think that would be a red flag, since wire transfer places always say, don't send money to people you don't know. All capital letters, guys. I literally ignored the signs. Since I grew up in a family that was middle class enough to not have to worry about money, I never got into the habit of regularly checking my bank account. It turns out these checks were just legitimate enough to get cleared, then rescinded after a few days, so I was technically giving my own money away. In retrospect, the initial offer email was even listed as being from a different job site than the one I used to find the new position to boot. I only realized what happened when I ended up over $2,000 in the hole. Making that phone call to my mom was one of the most nerve-inducing experiences of my life because I'm privileged as hell. Yeah, I want to know why he had to call his mom. Was that her money? Anyway.
Maybe he was asking for a bailout.
Yeah. Luckily, we have had the family support to dig out of the hole. There we go. Quickly enough. If only you wait and read the last paragraph. Okay.
Right.
Luckily, we have had the family support to dig out of the hole quickly enough and nearly manage our bills since. And I was able to start a real job 2 weeks after the move that pays better than anything I've done so far and is guaranteed full time. And my wife makes more than I do since she's got a fancy degree.
All right, so what's the problem here?
The problem is, damn it, Justin, were you listening? The problem is he literally got Craigslisted through a job post. Like, so he was looking for a job. He's desperate, right? Poor Carter. And he's like, oh, here's a really great opportunity for a job that makes a ton of money. I'll totally take it because I need one. And then they're like, but anyway, in order to do this job from home, you have to cash these checks we're sending you to buy this proprietary software. And then you have to pay the people with the checks you cash. So, like, they're giving him the money to then buy the software from probably them, which is bullshit. So he's never really getting anything.
Sounds like a scam.
It was a scam.
It's definitely a scam.
Well,
so
there you go.
Yeah, that's...
they send him the checks. He
Yeah.
gets the money out. He sends him the money, but then the checks bounce a few
Yeah,
days later. So
right.
they just comes out of his account.
So he bought the shit, and then there was no shit, and then also they took his money back. So he lost $2,000 because...
Carter, it's a scam.
It's
Back
a
out.
scam.
Back out now,
It's
Carter.
too late, but luckily,
late now.
Luckily, he could borrow money from his mom, like...
Well, he's lucky. It was only $2,000.
Right. But he's also lucky he could borrow money from his mom. Like, I think about this all the time and how lucky I am that I have a family that, although my mom doesn't give me just handouts, she will always be there if I'm about to be homeless.
Yeah. I also consider
Right.
myself lucky. I
Yeah.
don't want to sound like a jerk or anything, but the fact that I would know instantly that this is a scam.
Yeah,
Right.
I know. I would know that was a scam. In
Carter was privileged as shit.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to say that, but like it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. No, I would think that too, but at the same point, it's like, have you ever been desperate in a position where like...
For sure.
Like where you're like, I just want it to work.
Most
fine.
days.
Yeah, most days. Like I think about like, so this makes me think of
Most
days.
days.
Most days Justin Walker is desperate. Line up,
Most days.
ladies.
And he's just like fucking
Most days I'm desperate.
cash and checks.
ladies.
I'll cash any. I'll cash any check you want. I'll cash it right now. I don't care.
No,
I just watch Catch Me If You Can, man.
dude, this
That guy was killing it
this is nowhere.
before age 19.
Oh my god, catch me! Oh my god, yes.
I just watched
Mulder
Wolf of Wall
was in
Street.
that
I'm a
movie. My
master
brother
investor
looks
now,
like
so
Leonardo.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, okay, guys. My brother looks like you might as well.
No,
get
they're
me
right
one.
here.
My brother looks like Leonardo DiCaprio, and I need to figure out a way to capitalize off of this. And my plan is to have him recreate different famous scenes in Leo DiCaprio movies and create an Instagram account called Hito DiCaprio, and it will be like Leo DiCaprio's long lost brother that like got adopted out because the parents couldn't deal with it, and like Hito will be just like a dumb like guy that's like trying to be.
Tell them to be like, I didn't see the tail until I saw it.
Yeah, but no, this
I
whole
didn't know there was a tail until I saw it.
Or you can make it to where he's like
Boston.
Leo's stunt double.
Oh yeah, no, but I just want him to be like in like The Great Gatsby or in like Catch Me If You Can, like with his dumb face.
Or
But
the Departed.
The pad.
like
Rated R.
to your point, Justin,
Rated-
if I saw a job with this, I'd be like, whoa, okay, because like so this isn't exactly the same, but one that I'm thinking of now is like when I was leaving college in Orlando and moving to New York, I had this really great furniture that my mom had, and it was like real wood, like distressed whatever, very expensive wooden furniture, and it was like an armoire, a dinette set, and a coffee table. And I tried to sell it on Craigslist, but like you know how Craigslist is like for cheap asses, like you can't.
No hard pressed pine.
Yeah, you can't
No,
sell
nothing fancy
a
like that. no.
$1,500 set on Craigslist. Like you have to sell that shit for $150, right?
Yeah.
So I put it on there and I was like, this is worth this much. And actually it's imported because it was. We brought it from Aruba and blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to make as much money as I can, but I'm hoping maybe I'll get like $500 to $1,000 for it at least. You know, most people are being like, I'll give you $50, you know, trying to haggle me. But then I get a fucking check, a person that's like, oh, I'll send you a check for it.
Oh,
And-
those guys.
and they're like slow playing it. They're like, I'll send you a check and then I'll come pick it up. So I'm like, okay, it's not like what the Craigslist scam says, you know? And I get the check and it's for $3,000. And I'm like, that's not what I asked for. And I was like, this is extra. And they're like, yeah, that's because you have to ship it. I was like, no, you're supposed to pick it up. You don't mail things from Craigslist. This isn't eBay. And they're like, no, just ship it, da-da-da. And it'll be fine. And I'm like, you haven't even seen this in person. And you just
Yeah.
gave me $3,000. And I immediately was just like, as badly as I wanted to just like have that $3,000, I was like, no fucking way. And I actually have to Google this because I want to know what if I took it to a check cashing store?
Right, but what were you supposed to do after you cashed it? Like
I was
ship it to them with the cash in it?
I was supposed to ship it to them probably with their shipping service that they know.
Right, and it costs like
At $1,500.
$1,500
Yeah, exactly.
to ship it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
But-
do they get out of it? The free
But also there's a way that, like,
Table?
even if I actually paid to ship it somewhere, they would have gotten the set, but then the bank would have, like, given me the money ahead of time and then cashed the check, and they would have like stopped a payment on it.
Right.
Because I've also had that happen with like an employer that I had.
They would have got the shipping money, because whatever they were shipping it through was going to be directed to them some kind of fucking way.
Yeah.
Right.
But I want to know if, like, they pull the
Shit's
money out
fucking
of your account
elaborate,
once
man.
it's already
Yeah.
there. Because you know when you deposit a check to Bank of America, it's like, here's $100 till we figure out this is legit.
Right.
But, like, clearly they figured out a way, which he mentioned, that, like, it was legit enough to fully cash. And then later they were like, actually, no, you owe us money. And, like, but I will say that, like, what I wonder about the check cashing store thing, which I have to look into, and I'll include this on, like, the Facebook post once I fucking figure it out, is when I had, like, this is kind of a long story of, like, this Russian employer I was working for in Park Slope in New York that, like, was that woman beater guy. Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, real quick, is like that apartment we were looking at before we moved.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like this fucking great place in Franklin Village, and it's like, $650 a month. And
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck yeah! Emailing the dude, and he's just like, oh, yeah, cool. I'm like, can we see it? And it's like kind of beating around the bush for a while.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, well, I'm on a mission trip with my family for the next 4 years in
Yes.
South Africa.
Oh, my
And we're
God.
just like,
Too good to be
yes!
true.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the actual person was like, no, it's $1,500.
And it didn't even have a kitchen.
And there's no kitchen. Like, oh, okay.
Like,
well, shit.
but that's also, to be fair,
Storage.
We'll
unit.
keep on looking.
that's
man.
also why we thought that, like, it was probably legit, because it was so cheap, but there was no real kitchen. It was like a hot plate and like a mini fridge. And we were like, okay, we'll figure it out.
It was a fucking beach.
But we're like, but that's why it's cheaper, right?
Right.
Even though it was in a good area and it looked really cute. But, like, I remember going by the place because they weren't answering once I asked to see it, and, like, knocking on the door, and, like, nobody was answering.
And those emails he was talking about sending checks and some money bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
going
No,
on.
he said
Right. So
No, remember? Oops, I'm burping. I'm going to burp away from the microphone.
I'm reading right here. Like, I literally ignored the signs since I grew up in a family that was well off, basically. I never got a chance to check my bank account, or never got into the habit of checking my bank account. Like, that's just...
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
is
hilarious
this
to me.
before you had the app? Because the first thing I do in the morning, even before Instagram, I'll check my bank account. I'm like,
No,
oh, shit,
but
still
you're missing
fucked.
the point. It's like,
I'm going to check my bank account.
he
like 7
clearly
times
is
a
used to
fucking minute.
having, like, so much money
Still
in his
broke.
account. Even if it's just a couple grand, like, I have $26 in my bank account right now.
Right on.
Personally acquired.
Okay, so to me, it's like, if some shit came out of there, I'd notice. But at the same point, it's like, I use my credit card for this exact reason, which is why I'm in crippling debt. And if somebody put $2,000 on my credit card without me noticing, or I would probably not notice if it was a big credit card that's full. But, like, I realize, like, I have, like, auto pays going through, and I'm like, oh, how did I spend $500? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, like, really, with that, it's like he puts this in there, and he wasn't really looking, because he wasn't, like, worried about it, because he was...
Yeah, he saw dollar signs.
Well, yeah, he saw dollar signs, and he was
Right.
like, oh, this is going to be fine. I have $2,000. And then, like, when he finally checked his bank account, he was like, oh, it's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
It defaulted. Uh-oh.
Well, it's a learning
It bounced.
Yeah.
and that gets him in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
And
like, how good
then-
was the salesman? Like, as long as you include something that's like a little bit legit, like maybe he watched and waited for it to clear, but there's like another like disclaimer in the bank that's like, but if we find out later, and this is like my story that I'll get to about like the Russian jewelry store, is that like they can still try and get it back from you later, and if you're the easiest way to get it back, that's the way to get it back. Because like Bank of America, for example, I'm not saying he has that, will be like, Carter, you owe us money, before they're like, hey, random scammer, you owe us money. Because it's going to be easier to take your money and be like, well, you fucked up, you know?
And
Yeah.
then there's a fee and shit.
Yeah. But to the apartment
always
thing,
fees.
to your point with the apartment thing, it's like the fact that there was no kitchen made it reasonable, even though it was still a little bit too good to be true. Mm-hmm. It made it reasonable that it was cheaper because there was no kitchen. But then it was like, and then it was also like, the audacity when they're like, anyway, it's $1,500. It's like, please, that shit is not worth that. It's a studio.
Yeah.
Well, I was in Beechwood Canyon, though. So.
But the moment they sent an email and were like, anyway, fill out this all this information, it was like very, it's like, give me your bank that you bank with.
Right.
Let me know your bank with. Send me a screenshot phone number, past 3 addresses, and I'm like, this is an identity theft in the making.
For sure.
And they were like, anyway, who's always on a mission in fucking Greece?
I wonder how long
They're always on a mission for 4 years.
always
Why
on
is
a-
it?
Just trying to find out.
It's like everybody in Greece needs Jesus bad.
Yeah, right. I'm on a mission.
I
These
swear to
Grecians.
God, there's a city under the sea somewhere.
And
somewhere.
these religious people
And
on
we're gonna go
missions
talk
have the
them out of
best
it.
apartments, and they don't even want to meet you first. They just want to give it to you.
Just
dude.
like send us a check. You can do whatever you want.
Send us your deposit. Yeah, we'll leave the keys in the fucking mailbox. Give me
Leave
a
the
fucking
keys
break.
under a pot of pasta.
Inside of a fucking rigatoni.
No, but I started thinking like, you know how that you can open an email now? They say, and like you're at the gas station and you like swiped your card, and when you swipe your card at the gas station, the like clerk in the gas station opens an email, they can like steal your identity.
Damn.
It's fucked up, dude.
I didn't know that.
I just heard it on the internet. So be careful. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just heard it
believe
on the web.
These people are getting
No, but it's all
crafty,
about
man.
the email because it's something with like the system. I don't know how it works. All I know is
All right,
like
but
there's.
either way, what advice would you give to Carter?
I'd be like, you shouldn't have ignored the signs, dude. But he already figured it out because his
He
title.
did figure it out.
His title was "If It's Too Good to Be True." It probably is, but he learned the hard way. Oh, it's the
Learn
name
the
of
hard way.
Because
We
sometimes.
all learn the hard way.
Sometimes
Like
you
this.
don't want to believe because you need it that bad in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, and I believe I've been that stupid about most things.
Yeah.
And
But
like
like you said, nowadays, just giving your card over a counter, boom,
yeah.
your shit's jacked.
Dude,
Gone.
we
Yeah.
have Venmo. We have so many ways that like they talk about like they're listening to us through our phones all the time, but we also have Apple Wallet. Like, forget about it. Lose your phone, lose your life. Like, there's like so many things.
And you just tap your card
yeah,
and it pays.
yeah. But you know,
Anybody that has your card, you don't have to put a PIN number in. when
Yeah,
you tap
they
your
could
card.
have like a little thing in their pocket or something that's just like bleep.
yeah, but
Yeah.
but that's the thing. Like, there's things like that where they have
Those
special
fuckers are
wallets
smart,
now. There's special wallets now that deflect from that because somebody could be walking by you and like just scan your
Yeah.
chip.
Right.
Well, like my
it's
new
like-
debit card, you just tap it
Really?
and it pays.
Let me see that thing.
You don't have to put a
Break
PIN
that
number
shit out.
in.
Why
Break
don't
it
you-
out.
Why don't you take your top off
like-
real quick?
Howard
it's Howard
Stern up
Stern.
there.
It's Howard
Oh shit!
All right, so you just tap this, and it pays. No
me
PIN
see.
number needed.
Which
so
is-
if anybody has your card,
Oh my God! So somebody made a machine to tap it. It's like how they
Yeah.
make the machines to like get into your car. But that's
Exactly.
the thing. Think about this. Like, if it's so easy
Dang.
without any effort or like anything on your part to get things stolen, you have to feel more comfortable when you're actually speaking to a person. You know,
of course.
it's like he's talking to a person that's like got an email and there's probably a website. You know, but like I noticed. Oh man, Travis, remember when we were gonna like randomly book tickets to Amsterdam because I saw an alert that it was like $400 and it was like clearly too good to be true.
Right.
Because all the ones we'd been seeing were like $800. And it was like some weird website that it wasn't like cheap tickets because that's a legit one, but it was like something else with the word cheap in it. And I remember going to the website and like they were like, we'll call you about it. And like the person called me and they were like a person from India. And they were like, yes, you get on this website and you buy the ticket now, blah, blah, blah.
Like Uber Airlines.
Yeah, right. But it was like, why is this so cheap? And I'm like, oh, because it's janky. It's not as easy as Expedia. So I was still like, okay, I'm
Oh right.
gonna go through it. And then as I was about to put in my credit card number for it, I noticed that the logo on the website was like blurry. It was like pixelated. So I was like,
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you.
and because I'm a graphic designer, I was like, this is some janky
you really
shit.
dodged a big fuck show right there.
Yeah, and I was like, this looks weird. And so then I started Googling the website I was on. And I got like a whole like Better Business Bureau thing where people were like, they call you and they give you this deal, but what you find out later is there's these disclaimers. And then after the fact, if you didn't book it for 20 days, they hold your ticket for that price, but then they expand it to this price. Or they just like take it away and you can't find them. Like it was just fucked up.
So it's all bullshit.
But I noticed it only because
all
I'm a
bullshit.
graphic designer and I saw a blurry logo on a website that's supposed to be big.
Yeah.
Good
And
looking out.
Yeah.
Solid
Look at your websites.
But I also
Look at the
shitty-
logos. It's shitty.
but I also instinctually noticed I just felt already that I was like, come on, every ticket I've been seeing from airlines I know are twice the price, you know. Why is it cheaper?
Right. If it's cheaper,
But it's like, you know how
it's a
there's those like
scam.
little like verification, those little verification like things, like how you see on a GMO organic certified sticker. Like they have those on
like the
websites.
little codes that you scan shit.
No,
on
like
your phone?
well, it's like, okay, so you know when you see like a logo on like your organic product and it's like, this is certified by blah blah blah, right? Well, there's things like that for websites, and it's like secured by verification whatever, and there's like a little circle and a check mark. That shit was blurry. So
right.
they clearly screenshotted that because they didn't have the actual embed code to put the real one in there.
Yeah.
But if
It's
you
just a picture.
yeah, but if you didn't know that it shouldn't
But
be
also,
blurry.
I love how they didn't have the awareness to be like, maybe let's clear this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Make it not
Just
so
recreate
shitty
it.
looking.
You're right. Just
So many people must
Like,
just like
if you're
fall
going
for
to go
that
to
shit
that
real quick.
extent, take the
No,
fucking
no,
extra 10
but
seconds
one-
to like make it look better,
But
make
one,
it look legible.
People didn't even know, don't even know that exists half the time. Second of all, it's in the footer. You have to scroll all the way to the bottom.
Right.
You already had to be triggered by the logo at the top, you know?
Yeah, but they got to think that some person out there like you is going to pay attention to that.
Right, but if they can pull the fucking wool over 10 people's heads
Exactly.
a day, they're gonna clear like
They're-
thousands of dollars.
they're counting
so
on
they're
the
like,
bozos.
Fuck
It's-
it, who cares?
It's just like the fucking like medical bills, dude. The surprise medical bills, you know?
Yeah.
It's like they expect you to just pay it. You get a bill that's like, anyway, we paid this much, and then now you owe this much. Anyway, this is not a bill. It says really big. I'm like, well, this is all very confusing, you know? And so many.
It's not a bill.
You guys ever get phone
Then
calls?
why are you sending this to me?
And they're like from the IRS. I'm doing quotes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, IRS.
Everybody's doing quotes.
And
And
they're like, hey, we've been scanning your shit basically, and it's not adding up. We're gonna need your social security number.
yeah, and
And
we're gonna
a
seize.
lot of you'd be surprised how many people are like, oh yeah,
We're gonna seize all your assets.
Yeah, my social security number is blah blah blah. It's
about-
like
think
no,
of-
I'm instantly like,
No, right. But think about a
fuck
scared
you.
old lady or somebody that doesn't really speak English
Right.
and doesn't really understand as well, and they just think, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. They just
ironically,
do it.
most of the people that you're talking to don't speak that good English.
Yeah.
Right, IRS
On the
huh?
other end,
Right.
That's why when you get the phone
This
call,
is
it's
the
like,
IRS liaison from Baghdad.
yeah.
they're like, we've been looking, we seen it, we done it. Your social security, need it now, please. And they just like put it through.
Straight
a thing.
up, fool. I need your social security number, fool.
And give me that pin.
If
too.
somebody called me and said straight up, full, I need your social security number, I'd give it to
I'd
them
be like,
immediately.
all right,
That's
you got a pen?
You know what? If you want to be me, I want to be you, dude.
Yeah.
So here's my social.
Yeah, dude, for sure, straight numbers.
Hey, listeners, nobody ever asks you for your social security number in an email.
Over the phone, if anyone asks you where your
Dude.
social is, hang the fuck up.
I have
Yeah,
had
I
a
know.
situation where I've had to give it over the phone, and I was like, but really, though, like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
Let me try this.
But it's like,
Don't feel
I
comfortable.
called this person, and I also, like, Better Business Bureau, like, viewed them. But, like, oh, my God, speaking of those phone calls, have you ever got the one? I got this a couple of years ago, and it's been a while, but I got one that was like, you have a warrant out for your arrest.
Yeah.
Call this phone number.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What?
And,
How
like,
are they going
most
to
people will be like,
Turn yourself in.
most people will be like, holy shit, what the fuck? I'm like, like
How
fuck
do
you.
No,
Click.
but really. No,
Like,
at
first of all,
at
you
first
want me
I
to
thought,
Call and turn myself in if
You're-
I happen to have one out
The
for my
cops are
arrest?
calling me, telling me like, yeah,
it's a
you better do this,
recording, too,
and
yeah.
you can get out of it.
yeah, but like
It's
also,
like I owe somebody maybe in upwards of almost $1,000.
Yeah.
Like they're not coming after my ass,
Right.
and I'm paying you guys on fucking time.
No, but
so it's like the IRS is just like, hello.
yeah.
And it's like if
You're
they
in-
have your
you're-
number, if
you're
they can
in
get
big
that,
trouble.
They can just come to your house.
And then they're clever too because they start calling you like from like the area code from where you're from,
right.
and I'm just like, not today.
Oh, fucking Franklinton?
985,
Nope.
huh?
Yeah.
Bullshit. And then it's like from Tennessee, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes you answer-
Orlando?
It's like,
Not
hey, is this,
answering
hey,
that.
is this
Scam
Travis
likely.
Pavur?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's either a crazy uncle I don't want to talk to, or it's a scam.
Crazy uncle
Or
I don't know
both.
about and don't want to talk to.
Oh shit, they wrapped Uncle Wayne into this. I'm not answering that.
They pinched Uncle Wayne.
They got him.
They fucking ratted me
I knew
out.
he was part of the system. I fucking knew it.
Tax
Nobody
dodging.
has a ponytail with no hair on top of their head.
I owe the IRS $200. They're fucking after me.
I mean, honestly though, like, best believe you don't have to go out of your way to pay the IRS. If you don't pay them long enough, they will get your fucking money.
Right.
It's like wait, they will take it.
They'll
from
get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will not have to.
We
be...
all pay our taxes.
No, but
we all
really-
pay them.
What I want to learn is like when somebody's calling and say I have a warrant for my arrest. What's the end game? What's the play? Do I call and then like pay a bail bondsman? Listeners, if you have this having had happened to you and you fell for it, what happened? How did they get it? Because it's like, this is like you're saying I did a thing, and after I'm like, what did I do?
They're saying that nobody ever calls you and says they have a warrant out for your arrest.
I got a phone call like that. It was a recording when I was living in Pennsylvania. It was like, there is a warrant active for your arrest. Please call this number. You've been trying to be contacted by all of these like bureaus and agencies. You know, it's on record. And I actually got one about a friend of mine that's a comedian. Hello, Christine Bennett. And it was like, we've learned that you know Christine Bennett. There's a warrant out for her arrest. Please call us. We need information from you. We've noticed that you were in contact with her.
What'd you guys do?
No, so I literally sent a message to her, and I was like, Christine, I got this weird-ass message that told me to call it back. And she was like, dude, they must have figured out we're on social media and we're both from Florida. It's a fucking scam.
Right.
Yeah,
and it
bullshit.
was nothing.
If it's legal, they're gonna send you something in the mail.
Exactly. A cop is going to show up to your fucking door, dude.
Yeah,
Right.
and they're gonna send something in the mail, like fully
With like a seal with like, you know, that old like wax stamp.
like the ring
It's
and
gonna
the
be
wax,
notarized.
like
Yeah.
the fucking king
It's going to be
seal.
notarized.
If you want to test if you have a warrant out, just go get pulled over real quick and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. You could probably Google
We
it.
should run some stop signs.
But like, what a weird way to get way to get money or scare people. You know, I bet that's meant for like immigrants.
and what idiot?
and old people.
what
and old
idiot
people.
calls that number back? Like, hey, so am I supposed to be in jail? Or...
Yeah, but that's what I wonder too. It's like,
What's
oh,
this
because I'm still on like season 1 of you, man.
yeah. It's like you call them back. You're like, what
Is
did I
this
do,
Dog
bro?
the Bounty Hunter?
I wonder if you call them back, they can somehow like seize your information. Like when you open emails, it can do that.
Here's a good
Not
one
over the phone.
from 330 area code East Liverpool, Ohio.
East Liverpool, Ohio.
East
They're
Liverpool.
trying to be fucking
God,
like.
dude, yeah.
They're trying to be international, but they're not international.
Oh wait, this is great.
What
Paris,
is this?
Tennessee.
What
This
is
is-
this? The Beatles of
the-
Ohio.
This is already amazing because you know how like your voicemails like they transcribe it.
yeah.
And it's always terrible.
Yes.
So before I even play it, I'm just gonna read it. So it
Perfect.
says transcription beta. Hi, this is America here. This is me a call blank. That's it. So and what he's saying, let's see.
This is
Hi,
America,
this is America
here.
here.
If you get a call from America, call the
Wait,
police.
Travis, read that.
Hi, this is Postmates. I'm ready here.
It's Postmates.
Hi, this is America here.
Was that the wrong voicemail?
No, that's the one.
How did
Hi, this is Postmates.
this
Yeah, it
beta?
says hi, this is Postmates. the beta is not doing too good.
The beta needs
says-
work.
Hi, this is Postmates. I'm ready here.
A Postmates isn't even close to
Oh,
America.
Letter.
Could you come to the door? Hi, this is America
All right,
here.
Can we
You
talk
owe us
about
you owe us
fucking-
money.
Can we talk about how shitty Postmates is?
Yeah.
Yes,
Holy
let's get on
shit.
that.
It's like all of a sudden they outsource delivery and people are like, I don't have to come up to you.
Dude, I ordered a burger from. All right, I ordered a burger from Denny's. I'm just gonna say that.
Out yourself as a piece of trash.
Piece of shit.
Denny's
But hey,
sponsor.
but still, I'm expecting a fucking burger, man.
Denny,
And
sponsor
an hour
us.
later, they show up with a bag of food, and I don't check it until I get to my room. Like an idiot, I should have checked it at the dude's car. I walk upstairs, I get to my room, open the bag, and it's chips and salsa. You know how fucking pissed I was?
Oh
like
my
I'm just
God.
jonesing for that burger and fries.
Hey, you're
And I'm
ready
Forget
so,
about-
for the big juicy.
I'm
burger.
so excited for the burger and fries, and it's chips and cold queso dip
from Denny's.
from
Queso.
Denny's.
Dude, forget about how you ordered a meal and you got an appetizer. You ordered fucking American and you got a Mexican meal.
No doubt.
Or a Mexican appetizer.
You don't mix Mexican and continental, dude.
God,
you fucking
damn.
crazy?
Doing that, not continental United States.
Is the continental breakfast an American breakfast? And in other countries, they're like, how dare they call it continental? There's other continents.
You mean it like hotels?
Yeah, at hotels. Sorry, that wasn't clear.
Is it continental United States
Yeah,
breakfast?
yeah.
Wow, shit, that all makes sense now.
Why do they call breakfast at hotels continental
No,
breakfast?
when you said it's continental, I was like, whoa. It just reminds me of how we call it America, and people in South America are like, excuse me, there's other ones.
Right. But, I mean,
We need to Google this too.
the continental American breakfast.
Yeah, because if you're in the hotel in America, but do they have continental breakfast?
What do they call it in
other-
Hawaii? Offshore breakfast?
Offshore breakfast.
Broke off?
breakfast.
breakfast.
I'll have the breakfast.
Yes, I'll have.
Extra whipped cream.
I don't know where the continental breakfast.
Justin, you just
All right.
created a whole
But
mind
then
explosion.
I was
we'll
so
get a bunch of
pissed. I
comments
was
on this.
like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm hungry. I'll just eat this.
You
but
just
while
ate
I
the
was
queso?
no, I was like 2 chips in, and I was like seething. It's so angry.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I've been waiting an hour for this burger that I've been thinking about.
Forever.
I'm like binging TV shows. I'm so excited about this burger. So I ordered it again, and I emailed fucking Postmates, angrily emailing,
Oh my
and
god.
they compensated me for the meal.
Oh,
so I
good.
just ordered another burger. 2 hours later, it finally showed up.
Oh
And,
my fuck
but
shit.
I was happy then, you know.
Was it a burger this time?
They got the burger right.
It's probably the best fucking burger you ever had.
It was. It was
Because you
good.
were fucking starving.
But it
You
was
waited
also,
3
I was also like,
hours.
well, shit. Now I got to work in 45 minutes.
Could have had a fucking burger there for free.
It only took you 6 hours to get the damn order right. Guy pulling up on a bicycle or whatever the fuck.
Speaking of your terrible luck with food, Justin, can we please talk about the place that you went to and you ate German food? Because I mentioned this on
the
an
food
earlier
poisoning.
podcast episode. Don't remember which one it was. Just got to listen to all of them.
Yeah, man,
But
that was a brutal time.
German place, and you, Justin. Okay, so not to blast you here, but
No,
Justin was like, "Oh God, I don't feel well.
Yeah.
I ate German
I was,
And then he's like, and then like Travis proceeds to tell me after Justin went home sick, and he barfed for 3 days, and I was like, why didn't you go to the hospital, dude? Jesus Christ! But he's like, Travis is like, yeah, apparently when they were there, like a roach crawled across the table.
yeah.
What?
That was at the end of the meal.
Thank God! Like, how did you continue?
Good.
eating?
So you got to eat a bunch of them before you saw.
Yeah, the roach crossed
But
across the table after
how
we
many
ate.
signs did you
But
have
then,
walking in that was a bad idea? And you were like, I'm gonna order some fucking, what is it, bratwurst?
Yeah, it was.
Walk us through the whole night here.
Yeah.
I want to hear. What
All right,
the
so-
How
experience at
large
this
was that
restaurant
cockroach?
So a
Did you
good friend
kill
of
it?
mine hit me up. He's like, "Hey, it's my dad's birthday. We're gonna go to this German place in Culver City. That's like his favorite place. They have liters of beer." And I was like, "I'm down. You know, let's do it.
Liters of
Free
beer.
food,
Liter of
free
beer, I'm
beer,
there, bro.
hang out. I get to meet your dad. You know, that's cool." We get there, we order giant beers. After that one beer, I'm already full before the food even comes to the table. I mean, shit, a liter of beer, come on.
Right.
But I order the. It's pork, but it's called like Sanders-Nazi or some shit. And then everybody else orders like
Sanders-Nazi. Write it down, kids.
Sanders-Nazi, and everything's Nazi. And we're all eating, and it's great. And I get so fucking full. We get another liter of beer round, you know, and we're super full. But it's his dad's birthday, so we have like a pie coming out. And then a roach crosses
full
across
pie?
the table.
A full pie. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This was pre-pie. Okay.
Pre-pie.
Oh,
Roach
Jesus.
crosses across the table. Everybody freaks out. Everybody gets up.
How large was the roach?
It was about a solid inch long.
Oh, that's a big boy.
Solid
That's
big
a
boy.
proper roach.
That's a grower.
And my friend Connor, the one that invited me, I know for a fact he's terrified of roaches, but he
Same.
like
species.
stood up and straight up like grabbed the roach. Because he's like, I'd rather
he's not
take care of
terrified.
this roach than my like stepmom and my sister-in-law and my dad have
Everybody
to deal with
sees
it.
this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like,
Okay.
boom, I don't want to ruin
Yeah.
the
Side
night.
note, first
So he
off,
straight
not
up-
terrified of roaches if you're grabbing it bare fist. Second of all,
Yeah, he had a nap. He had
did
a paper
did
towel.
he kill it immediately?
Yeah, he squished
Okay,
it in his
good.
hand.
All right, then I buy it.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
got it.
Because I was like, you're not like picking off and snapping
But-
its neck when you fucking
But yeah, but
afraid.
everybody saw the roach. It like went a full mile for that roach across the table, you know,
Yeah.
and like roach
Roach miles.
you know,
Right.
because he's tiny. I imagine that must have been a mile for him.
Right.
He's just like,
traveling for days and got
And
snatched
we,
up.
we got over the roach because the pie was coming. I was like, oh, we got pie now,
Roach
so
pie.
let's just eat pie. So we ate pie, and stuff in my fucking belly. It's just so bad. I'm so stuffed.
Right. But at that point, it's like we've all been full as shit before.
Yeah,
But that
stuffing it in.
make you sick as
No,
shit for
I'm
3
fine
days.
at that point. I'm just full, you know.
But you didn't have no. But you're
We
the
go
only one who
back
ate
to-
what you ate.
Yeah, we go back
The-
to
the
their
Fleissen.
place
We don't know
after.
what
You
that
ate
means.
you ate the Fleischenwusen.
I'm the only one that ate the flaxen wax.
And everybody else had the
Everybody else had the flaxen Stephen.
right.
And I had the flaxen wax.
Lucky them.
Yeah. So anyway, we get back to their place. We're playing like video
What
games or
kind
whatever.
of pie was it?
No, I can't remember. I
Whatever.
have no idea.
Roast
There was whipped
pie.
cream on it, but the stepmom made the pie. It was like her pie that she brought.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The pie was
Okay,
delicious.
that makes a lot of sense because you remember the whole
Yeah.
crawfish incident of 2019. I would
Oh,
not
yeah.
have eaten a fucking pie after I saw a roach on the
Oh
table.
well, yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, we get back to their place, and I'm just like, all right, guys. I had already planned the studio for that night.
Right. Yeah, we were supposed to come here.
Yeah, and you guys were already here, so I was like, I gotta bail, guys. I'm sorry, and I'm just stuffed. I like pass out in the Uber on the way here.
Right.
I get here, and you guys saw me. I was just like green.
Dead.
No, I've never really
And if
seen you
this
like.
dude's sick,
I was
he's
just like sleeping
sick.
on the ground over
yeah.
here, not doing anything productive towards like the benefit of the
Yeah.
songs.
This is like we gotta
No, but
get
I'd seen you like that one other time in the 2 years I've known you, and you like deserved it because you were like, I partied and
Yeah.
I didn't go to sleep, but like you
But
were like
this was
lying
a
on the
straight,
ground, like
straight food, full. I went to the bathroom
is-
upstairs.
this is
You
ill.
know,
Yeah.
type in the number, get in there, and I instantly just puke all of that disgusting flaxen wax and snuffle Nazi into the toilet. And it's just so fucking disgusting. And I get as much as I can out, and I come back here and lay on the ground, and you guys are just like, dude,
somebody
you should probably
get
go
this
home.
guy out of here.
you're gross, man. You're get out of
You're
here.
dying.
And
We were nicer
I'm
than
just
that.
dying, and I'm like passing out, calling the Uber. As fucked up as I am, I'm still so cheap that I still called an Uber Express
dude,
pool.
I can't believe that you did that. When you told me that, I was like, how dare
Just
you?
like-
Yeah, so I'm
a
so
car
sick.
full of people
I
pulling
know.
over every
A car
5
with,
minutes.
like, 600 people.
Whip.
Yeah, there's like
I
somebody
wanted
in the
to
trunk.
save $3. Oh my
It's
god!
like somebody on the roof being like, "Dude, here's good, man." I'm just like knocked out in the back seat, trying not to throw up. I get back home, I puke, I shit. I also start hallucinating.
Dude,
So it made me think it was like salmonella poisoning.
it had to have been.
And I
I hadn't heard, and then after you left, I hadn't heard.
my
from you,
mind
for
would
2
like
days.
grasp onto
Yeah.
my mind would like grasp onto something in my life and replay it over and over again. And it felt like for hours while I'm trying to sleep. I'd wake up and it's like 3 minutes have passed. And that happened for about 36 hours.
I don't
It's
know how
like
you.
the fucking.
It was
it's like salmonella
brutal,
mixed
man.
with a hit of acid.
I legit would have went to the
Brutal.
hospital if that happened to me. Like,
Yeah, but I don't have health insurance.
oh my god.
So I was like, I'm just
What
going to ride it
world?
out.
Dude, yeah, you
That's
fucking
what I was like, get
cruise
some
that shit out, dude.
Pedialyte.
I rode it out, dude. I was pooping, puking, and hallucinating.
And tripping balls, dude,
Yeah.
having a good time.
Because you were so dehydrated. That was one
Horrible
of the
trip.
first things I asked you. I was like, did you shit and puke at the same? Because I've had food poisoning like a couple times before, and it's like you don't even get to choose what end. It's both.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Holy
like
shit.
I would try to, the only thing that made me feel better was like making myself throw up and give me an ounce of
for a minute.
for a
Relief.
second some like relief, and I'd fall asleep for a second, and then my mind would trip balls, and then I'd wake back up and puke and shit and all over again. Routine
That's
for
gotta
about
be,
36 to 40
like,
You're
hours.
like,
serious
this
food
is
poisoning.
how
Yeah.
I die.
Yeah,
If anybody wants to chime in on that one,
Yeah.
what happened to Justin?
it
Yeah.
was brutal.
Have you? What's the
So that-
name of that place?
I didn't.
I can't remember the name of the place.
Where was it generally?
It's
Culver
like,
City,
It's
it
like
was right
Big
next
Dan's
to,
German house.
You need to find that place and
Big Dan's bratwurst and pizza.
write a review and be like,
It's
come here
it's
if
on,
you
it's
want
on
to
the
have
west
the best
side.
food poisoning, shit puke situation.
I don't know.
of your
It's
life.
probably called like Schnitzel Nazi or something.
Big Jimmy's bratwurst and pizza house. Like
Oh my god.
And
Club
sushi.
Vonda Sex.
Lavanda sex.
It's amazing how fragile we are despite how strong we are. Because like think of all the shit we do to our bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't hear from you for like 2 days.
Dude, I was out of
like
commission for
shit.
like 2.5, 3
No,
days.
and I
and
was
then I went to
asking him.
work like the fourth day, still feeling like shit because my body had gone through so much
Dude.
that
How
it
much-
was like,
lose like 5 pounds.
dude, I
You look
lost
good, though.
weight. Yeah, I had a modeling shoot the next day, so it really, so it's a great way to lose pounds
It was
before
a
a show.
fucking modeling agency. That's who did
Justin
it. They
was like,
poisoned
give me
you.
the raw chicken.
Justin's looking too fat. Let's
like
hit him.
Hitting that blue steel up, dude.
He's got to shoot next week. Let's
Great way to lose pounds before a show.
purge him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was the worst 3 to 4 days of my life.
I've never had food poisoning like that. Thank God.
Never.
Knock on Formica or wherever this
Yeah,
is.
You never.
That's the thing, though. I've had food poisoning. That was not food poisoning.
Not like that.
That was salmonella poisoning.
Well, that's
right.
like, but like, whenever I've had food poisoning, it like came out of nowhere.
I've been sick from food, but
yeah,
not
but but you like shit. You didn't. But I've
wasn't
only
coming out
seen
of
you
both
puke
ends.
like twice in my life.
right.
But like it
I mean,
was.
but I puke in private, so. I
But
puke a lot
it
more.
also wasn't like a like, oh no, this is a situation like.
Right. I've
like
never
when,
been like deathly ill.
Like when we were back home.
Last year.
No, but at your family's house, this recent trip that we just went. Remember, like that night, like I ate like something, but everything that I ate, you ate except for the pasta that I had that was like very creamy.
Right. You were.
I was throwing up and shitting.
That was probably the
for
cream.
a few hours. Yeah, but I think I just ate too much dairy and my body was like absolutely not. You know, but it wasn't like food poisoning. But it was similar in a situation where it was like, oh, every time I'm like finally falling asleep, I'd wake up and be like, you're gonna throw up or you have to
Right.
shit. You know, and it sucked. But like that's different than like, holy cow, I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm sweating. I'm throwing up into a bucket while I'm shitting. I have food poisoning. Like that wasn't food poisoning.
It's
like
like,
you had, like-
shitting and puking I can handle, but the hallucinations.
It's like you caught a
That's
little.
because you waited. You did it for 3 days, dude.
It was just
It's like you caught a little stint of 24-hour cholera.
yeah. Also, of course,
like, holy
my roommate
shit, man.
like had a friend over the entire time.
What's up, bud?
Every
Nice
time I've
to
had
meet
food
you,
poisoning, she's happened to have a friend over, and I'm so embarrassed.
Oh my god.
I'm like holding a bucket, running to the bathroom.
Dude,
We're like,
fucked up, man.
you know, there's fresh water in the tap.
Whoop, don't go in the bathroom.
yeah,
God.
And don't use the bathtub. And don't,
we're out of toilet paper.
don't use the sink. Just don't go in the bathroom. Holy
Dude,
shit.
after it finally subsided, I was like downstairs spraying the fucking bucket out, like our bathroom trash can.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I
my
set it there
God.
to dry, and I haven't seen that trash can ever since.
Wow.
Jesus. It absorbed back into hell.
I think my landlord like threw it away.
She's like, no,
I'm pretty sure
absolutely
he
not.
threw it. My
Quarantined
landlord
it.
like threw it
They
away.
went
I
and
think
studied it at USC. It was like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
it was like caked.
Ugh.
The can was like 2 feet tall, and
How long?
I
did you
filled
fill
half
it?
of that up.
I was about to say, how long did you fill it before you like timed it?
Did anything about that meal like taste weird to you while you're eating it?
no,
No?
the only thing I can think is the Brussels sprouts. You know, they cook those in like chicken stock.
Right. Some cross contamination, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised nobody else got sick.
Yeah, we get Gordon
Yeah,
Ramsay in
because
that
I
fucking...
I shared the pork with like Taylor and Connor, and they didn't get sick. Nobody else got sick.
Did anybody else have the Brussels sprouts?
No,
Up.
that's why.
Figured it out.
They probably
Yeah.
have cooked Brussels sprouts in the cooler, underneath like raw chicken in the strainer.
We need to figure out the name of that place. Get Gordon Ramsay up in there.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I can't remember the name of the place, but
Lucky them. Lucky them, man. We'd be taking them down right now.
That's
Fight
right.
the power.
Culver City.
Well, I feel like we learned a
Got
lot.
through it.
I learned a lot of shit this
Got through it.
episode. There's ways that people can like pay you money, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I got the money. I'm fine. I'm safe." Right? But then later, not so much because they're gonna look for you to pay it back. Like this guy that,
Like the bank.
yeah, the bank, whatever. Because like what I thought about when this guy gave his money, he cashed these checks to buy equipment, right? The bank had to cash the check. How do they take the money back? So I wonder, it's like, oh, it's a bank. There's like extra like checks and balances.
How'd they take the money? I don't think they took the money back. He just had negative balances from bounced checks.
Right. But he said, I guess they were good enough to cash.
Oh,
and
like the full amount.
yeah, and look okay. Maybe they didn't. But like, I think that sometimes,
I mean, if you go to the counter, you can get the full amount right there.
right. That's what I'm
If
saying.
you're not just like putting it into the ATM.
But it's like, is there still a way for you to get fucked? And I think there kind of is.
Well, it says he was 2,000 in the hole
Right.
after that. So they like
Right. So he put it in his account and somehow they took it back out. So
yeah.
here's
so
what
that's
my
what he says. He was basically giving $2,000 of his own money
right.
away.
Oh wait,
Because he had the money to cover it.
That's the whole
That's
thing.
the whole
He
scam.
had the money to cover it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who has $2,000?
Try that on me,
in their
bro. You ain't
fucking
gonna get
account?
shit.
I also love how he admits he has family funds that can cover that.
Yeah.
Next time, just ask your family for $2,000, bro.
Yeah, but that's so hard. You don't want to ask them for money.
I know.
You owe them stuff.
But you
Now you
can't.
learn
You learn your lesson.
The hard way,
Don't
yeah.
accept the free lunch, man. You got to work a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
Got to work.
But that's the whole thing. Like, that's why, like, the free lunch thing, like, I don't even like people buying me drinks and stuff because I'm like, then what, what do I owe you later?
Yeah.
There's always there's always something.
Yeah, it's like the favor thing on The Office.
What?
It's like everybody owes somebody a favor. If you're just like, oh, let me get that door for you.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Now we got to do something for him.
Yeah. It's like the one-up of politeness.
It's like if
dude.
there's two doors walking into some place, it's like, let me get that door for you. Oh, well, let me get this one for you. Damn it.
You're just trying to, like,
in the
settle
hole.
the score so you
I'm
can just,
indebted.
like, relax.
Let me pull that chair out for
My
you.
sister got me a Dunder Mifflin shirt for Christmas.
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
And she asked me and my brother to walk her down the aisle.
That's awesome.
I was about to lose my shit.
Yeah. No,
I'm so fucking proud of
That's so cool.
Sarah and Michael, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Michael.
Coach
Sarah
Mike.
listens to the podcast. She'll hear us. Actually, I'm planning on because Sarah, Travis's sister, is now a therapist. She's not quite licensed because she just got her master's, so it's still like one of those like transition things until she hits a certain amount of hours. But as a podcast listener, I want to bring her in, not in a way where we can say like you're accountable for this, totally people will have to sign shit if she's talking on the podcast, but bring her in as like an actual like smart perspective who knows stuff about
We did have a
psychology.
big open forum reunion of everybody who's been on the podcast and just have her analyze this.
Yeah, well,
like
she's
Dr.
already
Phil
like
style.
analyzed people on the sidelines being like,
Let's
whoa.
bring Travis out. Yeah, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know me. Fuck you. It's like the Maury show.
Yeah, Jerry Springer.
Oh my God.
This is where the podcast is heading.
No, but how cool would it be, like, because I have, like, somebody that could, like, give an unbiased, professional opinion, but always remembering that doesn't mean you can sue her ass if you take the advice, you know?
Right.
Right.
Which I will absolutely make people sign paperwork, but that's, like, a big plan.
Non-disclosure agreements.
No, it's going to be like, okay.
Confidentiality agreements,
We got
non-disclosure
We
agreements.
got your boyfriend from kindergarten. Let's bring him out here, Tom.
Yeah, it just means like she happens to be a therapist, but she's not on the clock right now. So she's giving like her knowledgeable opinion, but this is not a session, dude. You gotta
Turns
pay
out
for
Tommy is, in fact, not your kid. Yeah, I fucking knew it.
I knew it.
that. Oh my god.
I'll still be there. I'll still be there for him.
Yeah.
I'll
How
still
many
be right
people
there.
are these people having sex with, dude? Seriously.
I mean,
If it's real, a lot.
yeah,
And they're all born with like eyebrow rings and shit, Like,
yeah.
They come out with an eyebrow ring
Yeah.
and a fucking diamond encrusted
ears already
teeth.
He was
pierced.
born with an
Full,
attitude.
full set of teeth, dude.
Full set of teeth, tramp stamp.
Yeah.
They're born with grills and shit.
Oh my god, no.
Born just pissed off at the wrong people.
My dad always told me like when I was younger, we'd always have like in Curacao we didn't have that many shows, but we happened to have like Maury and fucking I don't think Jerry
It's
Springer
the
was there,
essential.
but Maury was there, and it was like because there were like 2 channels, and he's like he always said if you ever end up on Maury, you're disowned.
So like solid. That's pretty solid. No
easy.
doubt. Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Easy.
I'll be like, deal.
Yeah. Like there's so many like
What about Dr. Phil? Are you cool with that?
Well, Dr. Phil, that's
You cool with Dr.
sophisticated
Phil?
right there.
oh my god, but
It's
it's like
the same shit.
well,
Yeah, I
that's the
know.
whole thing. It's like so many
So
people
Dr. Phil just
Way more
makes you
calm.
feel like,
Such an asshole.
yeah.
doing reality
I
shows
don't
is
know
like
about
the
it.
fucking like bottom of the barrel for trying to get on TV. But like
Jerry Springer's like
Jerry Springer and
wrestling
Maury
for,
are like dig 10 feet lower than the barrel, and
Yeah.
that's where you are, But like luckily they like upped it a bit. Oh my god! Speaking of which, Vanderpump Rules. I saw somebody post something the other day from like The Hills, which is like an old show. You know The Hills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like The Hills, and it was like the auditions, and like Lauren Conrad was auditioning people for the show, and fucking Tom, God damn it, why am I forgetting his name right now? The model one that dates the blonde girl, Sandoval. Tom
The
Sandoval
Sandoval.
was interviewing, and he was such a little tiny skinny baby, and he was like, yeah, I like to be on TV, yeah. And it was like 10 years before I was like, oh my God, you poor guy.
Yeah.
But
Fuck.
also not you poor guy because you're so rich now.
Yeah, because
And
of
it doesn't matter.
because of bullshit reality.
Plug and
TV.
Vanderpump
You
in
guys
this.
remember Jersey Shore, bro?
Oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah. Dude.
Travis is
love that.
which you
We
never
used to
watched.
watch that shit in the shed.
Loved it. Cap zip, cap. Dude, it was so entertaining.
Yeah, it was
It
great.
was like we just like secretly get together for boys' night, 24-pack of Bud Light, watch the
I
new,
love
new
that the
episodes.
boys' night was Jersey Shore. That's
Jersey
hilarious.
Shore and Need for Speed.
Dude, that shit was good, dude.
Oh my
Need
God.
for Speed and Jersey Shore.
So funny. Well, now our thing is like 90 Day Fiance, which is
Yeah,
also
so
different.
so haven't gotten much better.
It
yeah.
hasn't got. I mean, it hasn't gotten
I think
much better.
it has.
Editing's gotten
Swear
better.
to God,
I-
if anybody walks in this bar, looks at me the wrong way, I'm starting to fight.
Although no, I say that, but it's like no, but like anybody like causing a scene on screen. To me, it's just like I think about it. Like, okay, you guys are artists. You're recording artists, but there's like an easy way for you to get exposure, and that would be to audition for a reality show. But like,
Yeah, we could turn that shit up. Fast.
yes,
Yeah.
But would you do that? You wouldn't do that.
I
No,
wouldn't.
I wouldn't do
personally.
that. Yeah,
But-
I don't want my personal.
If we were a
life
little
out there
different, like
making
we'd
me
go
look
inside,
even
like
worse
fist
than I
fighting
already
each
am.
other and shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I just don't,
Also, it's still directed.
Oh, for sure.
They're like, hey, accentuate this shit,
Right.
cause problems.
Just like the
right.
editing
No,
and
it's
the
like
producing.
You know?
have you ever seen Unreal? Yeah, like Unreal,
yeah.
the producer Unreal is like a fictional show about reality. It's like the producers being like, oh, did you hear what you said about you over there?
Oh yeah,
Just
I've
starting
never
to like
seen it, but
start
I know
shit.
what you're talking about.
But it's like even still, it's like you're still tied to this thing, and it's like you look like a fucking bozo. I just like one of my biggest fears is getting famous or going viral for the wrong shit.
Right.
I'm like, this is not what I want my legacy to be. You know,
Right.
ugh, that would be
well, that's
horrible.
like the hard thing about it. It's like not up to you at that point.
Yeah.
Like if you get out there, it's up to what other people are going to see you as.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like,
You
you
know?
know, we're trying to like be successful and support ourselves, being genuine and making cool music and putting it out. And all of us are.
Right.
But then everybody's just like smoking us with, you know, popularity and
Yeah.
fame and money for just being fucking retarded.
Like, can you imagine
Can I say retarded?
Mike the Situation coming out with a fucking comedy album? Nobody would take that dude serious.
No, but even still, it's just like, yeah.
They'd be like,
No.
But he'll like sell 1 million copies because he was on the Jersey Shore.
But that's the whole
Right.
thing. It's like
Such
they
a
have
fucking
people.
idiot.
They have
Exactly.
people doing comedy that don't have any business doing it because it's like, well, you're already famous, and this will make us money. It's like about money. That's why I'm like irritated about people doing so many bringer shows because it's like a bringer show is something that I did a lot when I was 25, like just getting into comedy, and I think it's like a rite of passage that you do it. But it's like when I see people.
and now what's a bringer show?
Okay, so a bringer show is like you get like it's like they have a lot of them at the Comedy Store too, and it's like, okay, there's a person producing the show, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna book these 8 comics, and it's gonna be a 2-item minimum and a $10 cover, blah blah blah. But they're like, each comic you have to bring at least 5 to 8 people, and it's always like a pretty extraordinary amount. It's not like bring 2 people.
we were at one.
Yeah,
At the Improv?
No, at the Comedy Store that she hosted.
yeah, which they didn't sell
Remember?
that to me as a bringer show, and that was
The one where we all went?
Yeah, you and Felipe over there.
Yeah.
And we spilled like the whole fucking 24 ounce.
Yeah.
well, that was but that
Oh,
was
the one where like those dudes were like wanting to fight you?
No, that was the improv. That wasn't a bringer show, but like the the
We're
bringer,
gonna, we're gonna talk about that next because that's fucking awesome.
the
That's
fighter
a great
show.
the
story.
bringer show comes in when the booker and producer tells you you have to bring this many people, and then if you don't get to perform, and they're already not paying you. So now let's say they told you to bring 8 people and you brought 5, they won't let you perform because you didn't hit your quota.
Damn, talk
And
about
then
pressure.
And then they still make money off of you, but you don't get to perform and you don't get paid. And so it's bullshit.
That is complete bullshit.
Right, but that's how it works, and it sucks because it's also like if you can't do bringer shows all the time then because you're gonna wear out the wallets and the patience of people because it's like you're still working on material. They're gonna see the same shit. You're not gonna come every month to my bringer show. And like the show that I did that I was at the Comedy Store that I hosted with the producers that brought me on, it was presented to me as like a legit show. And they were like, okay. And I remember them asking me in like the inception of it, like, how many people should we tell people to bring. I was like, don't give them a fucking number. This isn't a goddamn bringer show.
Right.
They'll be excited to tell people because it's the Comedy Store. And secondly, you're charging too much. You're charging $20 at the door, which is, these are all nobody people. Yeah. Joe Rogan charges $10. Where do you get off? You know?
No
and
shit.
then after that, I didn't get to do it again, you know, because I just didn't agree with this shit that they were doing.
I do remember that.
Because I was like, oh, this is a bringer show.
And then they tried to skip you on the money.
They tried to skimp me on the $50 they were paying me, but I remember
a whopping $50.
I remember even being there, being like, and even getting there and being like, oh, what's the lineup, what's the thing, and they knew nothing of anything, and I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm producing this shit now, and I was like, is there like a tab for the comics? Because to me, at the very least, I get it. I can't afford to pay my performers either at my show, but I pay you and being like, you don't have to buy a drink, you don't have to this or that, you know, but at this, like, there's still like a slip, you know, a middle line of like mic spots, you have to buy something to perform.
Right.
But at the same point, like, the moment I make money, which I don't, if I was making what they made on that show, which was at least $2,000, you better believe you're getting at least a couple drink tickets, or you're getting $5 or $10 a piece for the performers. You know what I mean?
That's where a manager comes in play.
Yeah. But
representation for yourself.
But I mean,
someone that can
look at how many
read
people
between the lines.
They're preying on people that are like looking for the glow of the Comedy Store.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. If you had a manager or an agent, they'd be able to be like, no, this is bullshit. My client is getting paid what she's owed, or tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this.
Justin, Felipe, and Travis have been back there buying $15,000 worth of alcohol.
I just think if people stop doing it, you know,
I want to see some return.
It's like, you're the producer.
Better do this for my client.
It's up to you.
You know what's going to happen.
You're the producer. It's up to you to promote
go to the
fucking
bathroom.
show.
Try to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Like, as a producer, it's up to you to promote the fucking show. It's up to you to bring people there. Absolutely. All comedians try to get people to their show because they want their friends there and they want people there because they want more people. But the moment you have somebody performing for free, doing your job, you're barely promoting, and you give them a quota and they don't hit it, you don't let them perform, that's fucking bullshit, dude.
Yep.
And that's why these places close.
Right.
And it fucking sucks.
So, yeah, don't go to the bringer shows.
I
Or
don't.
Don't
Also,
do
do
the
remember
bringer
that
shows.
night.
I don't do the
I remember
bringer
that guy
shows.
that was doing
Everybody.
the Tom
Yeah.
Hanks
In
impressions.
The what?
That was that night, right?
Which night? Oh, it's...
At the Comedy Store.
I don't remember Tom Hanks impressions.
I just remember one guy. He was like, "All right, this is my Tom Hanks impression."
No!
from-"
Yes, he's amazing and hilarious. That's Tyler Riggers, and he's my friend that I want to do an animation for a clip of this thing.
Dude, he was
He's so funny.
great.
He's so funny. Yeah, I know he does impressions. Yeah,
He does the animation.
yeah, but he's so
He
funny.
just did like the same Tom Hanks impression over and over again
this
with
is my
different
impression
things.
of Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Dude.
Yeah. No, he was great.
Balls, you're taught.
Yeah.
And then the next one was like, "This is my Tom Hanks impression on Apollo 13." Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
God.
It's like doing like the,
Yeah, he's
the
doing
Toy
the
Story
exact
thing.
same thing. I mean, it's so fucking great.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Just watched Apollo 13 right before we came here, and that's spot on.
I just remember me and Felipe getting there tiny bit late, and our leather jackets are just like clinking through the fucking seats, and we're just like,
It's like 400
Sorry.
degrees in there.
sorry.
Oh my God.
2 drink minimum. We all like sharing like
Oh
two
my God, the
24 ounces.
2 drink minimum. It's like, that's cute. If you would have I brought you guys. If you would have given more drinks, you could have gotten 5 drinks out of these people.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 drink minimum. Then it's
But then they take, like, 2 hours
But
to
you
come
can
around to
only
you.
get 2 drinks.
I was hosting
Yeah,
the
and
show.
they also take 2 hours to come to you to ask you what you want.
I was hosting the show,
Yeah.
and I was trying to get a drink, and I was like, hey, and it took forever until they were stopping serving. And then I was like, can I just buy a drink? She was like, this is on me. It's fine. And it was like, the girl did it. And I just remember being like, what the fuck?
Wow, big time. That's the big time right
But it's
there.
a fancy place, though.
Also, when you did the Hollywood Improv,
Yeah.
and
Oh, my God.
like, all right, first of all, Jess, you fucking killed.
Thank
You
you.
Yeah, it was great.
destroyed.
Great show.
And after you came and sat next to us,
Mm-hmm.
right next to Travis, right next to me, and those 2 dudes at the bar that were just heckling.
Oh, my
Being
God.
fucking the one thing that they tell you not to do before every comedy show is don't heckle.
Dude, during my tape, they yelled so many times, it, like, kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it-
it was fine, but...
Right when you decided you wanted to smoke a cigarette, Travis, and you got up to smoke a cigarette. Just so it happens, the security guards go up to those guys and are like, "Hey, get the fuck out!" And it was just like perfect timing,
Right, and
because they thought that you went and talked to the security guard.
to get them kicked out, right?
Dude, no,
So in their mind, you went and ratted them out. And so you're outside smoking a cigarette, and these fucking two dudes come up to you, just like, "Hey, fool, you talking to a security guard about
that
me?"
shit was so
and
fucked
just
up.
like, what?
It's like, no,
No,
I'm not.
man,
It's like, you want to fight? Let's go fight right now. I'm like, I'm not gonna fight you.
I'm not gonna fight you, bro.
This is like
Go
also,
away
there's
from
like
me.
30 people watching
This
you.
was like the best
Yeah,
way
so-
to see how Travis just keeps his cool and makes the other
So,
person
yeah.
flipping out look like an idiot. But also the fucked up part about that was like that was the second time in a month that he got blamed for some shit he didn't do, where like he was in danger. You
Right.
know? like we just like went out to
Yeah, it was like the same month about the slash and tire
slash
thing.
tire
yeah.
thing, yeah. But like it was like we go out there and we're just
shit,
like
was that the
smoking a
same month?
cigarette because we wanted to get away from them. And they come out and they're like, "Yeah, dude, you fucking tell your little pussy, you little bitch, you want to fight me?" He's like, "No,
I'm like,
I don't."
dude, I didn't tell him anything.
But you need to get away from me
like,
right
go
now.
away from
It's
me.
like maybe it's because you were,
Yeah.
being a fucking
Like,
dick.
did you ever think for a second that you got kicked out because you're being dicks in
Yeah,
there?
but then there was that was the same month. It
never
was like
fucking
2 weeks.
occurred
But the
you.
best thing is the fact that Travis just keeps his even keel.
And then they just puffed
Just
up.
like cool as cucumber,
and
baby.
that's even on 4
They
or 5
puffed up,
martinis.
and
It's
then,
like
like-
at the same time, I feel like in the back of your head, you're like, please fucking hate me in front of all these people.
Yeah.
See what the
I
fuck
will
happens.
Sue your
Watch
ass.
all my boys come out here and destroy you.
You
Because
just
we were
wait.
with Brett, me,
Oh my god.
Felipe.
And Fonto was like gunning to like
Oh no!
just kill
When
somebody.
Fonto
Yeah.
heard about it later, he was like, We need to get Fonto up in here. We'll do a
It's like,
catch thing."
fuck.
Dude, hell, I fucking love that guy.
No,
like,
he's
dude,
awesome. He's mad at me because
leave-
I tried to book him on it,
Leave
and
me
I
the
kept
fuck
changing
alone.
the schedule.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't do shit. Just go away.
But like so funny,
exactly.
they got all
And
puffed
one
up,
of
and then
them-
his friend was holding him back. It's like you already weren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like enough
It's all
already.
it's all talk, dude. When people act like that, especially in public, they know the law nowadays. You can't get into bar fights like it's the fucking 60s, man.
right. What,
Nobody fights at bars anymore.
You can, but I mean,
You can for sure, but you're definitely going to jail.
Like he's gonna get the the short end of the stick there.
Exactly.
They were already a nightmare from the beginning of the
Yeah.
show. It was nuts.
They wouldn't shut the fuck up the entire time.
And I didn't do anything. Maybe it's just because I'm long hair living in Los Angeles. I stick out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, preaching the choir,
Oh
man.
my god. Which does
just-
that happen to you? Like, because I remember.
We
don't
need
you-
to move.
Dude,
Don't you
I've
remember-
been in more fights than I.
What did you learn about fighting, Justin? Tell us. Justin.
That I grew up
Okay,
having
so-
a big fucking mouth.
I need to change my
okay.
face.
I have
grew
the
up
biggest
having a big
mouth
mouth.
of the group, I think, but all three of us know we can't drink whiskey because we're
That's
jerks.
I haven't been in a
No.
fight since I stopped drinking whiskey.
Shit.
Right. I haven't been in too many verbal disputes since I
Yeah.
stopped drinking whiskey.
Travis saved my life.
Oh
What
my
was that,
God.
like 3 years
Oh
ago?
my God, please-
in,
wait,
in
this-
Los Angeles.
Please tell the story. Yes.
Oh my god.
Please tell the
This
story.
is a good
please.
story.
Travis, you should tell
This
this.
is a good way to end the night. Okay.
Before you whip out the kazoo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We'll play you off. We'll play everybody off after this night. After the story of this night. I don't know how to like get into it.
All right. Well, I'll start it off because I was So I was hanging out with some friends after work.
Hanging out with some
and I
friends
was
after
just,
work.
I was just getting out of a relationship and I was destroyed. So I wanted to get shit faced.
Okay.
And then
And then-
Travis meets up with me at this place called the Continental.
The Continental Room, downtown Los
Continental
Angeles.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Right. Right. We still need answers to that question. Anyway, so I'm meeting up with Justin. I think maybe in the hopes that we can come here and record some music.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like talking to you, like, and you're drinking since like noon,
Yeah.
and it's like 7. It was like, let's go hit the bar first, and then we'll like cruise over to the studio. Okay, great, yeah, awesome, that sounds good. So I meet up with, I go to the Continental Room, meet up with Justin and his friend that's there from work, and nobody knows Justin like I do, and like you can just like tell like
Oh, he's got the ugly face.
old whiskey
It's
days.
like, I'm new to LA, man.
You
so-
just got this. It's just got this stagnant stare in his eyes. regardless if I'm his fucking best friend or not. Like
just that whiskey
for
stare.
years. Just like I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like I don't know who you are. I don't give a shit. Like fuck everybody. Fuck the world. I don't give a shit.
And Justin,
So I'm just
everybody
like,
needs
so
to know
dude, what's
he's the
happening?
nicest
Like
guy
good
generally. So this is like,
this is like
I
the
don't care.
best dude ever. It was just
Yeah.
like this is how we're gonna deter everybody from whiskey drinking,
Yeah.
or just be more in touch of what alcohols you shouldn't drink.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So
Yeah, because everyone has their
Yeah.
alcohol
everybody
Yeah.
has
that
their
they shouldn't
alcohol.
drink.
Yeah,
Have a glass of whiskey, maybe like one time with your dad.
Right.
by itself.
By
Don't
itself
be adding
when
it
you're
at the end of the
visiting
night.
home.
Yeah.
And not pound whiskey from noon
don't,
to
but don't
9
like but
p.m.
don't like come and like meet up. He's like, dude, what y'all been doing all day? It's like, oh, we were at the fucking Gold Room. it was like shots of whiskey and Modelo's like 5 for 1.
Yeah.
And, like,
Oh my
so like we were just doing a little
God.
bit of that, and like we stole a jean jacket from like American Apparel.
Oh
Yeah, that was actually happened.
Committed
Yeah.
6 crimes
Like-
We
already.
actually stole a
Shit.
jacket from American.
Right on, dude. Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna like go like make some cool music then. So we're like just hanging at the bar, and like I haven't drank anything yet. So I'm like, and our friend is working at the bar, and you know he's just like, "What's up, guys? What's going on?"
Yeah,
You know?
Matt from Worms.
Matt from Worms. And he's working there at the time, and you know he's like, "What's going on?" He knows both of us, and he's like, "What's going on, Matt? What's that?" He's like, "What's up, Justin?" And Justin's just like stoic, like, hey. You know, like I'm like, oh shit,
Not
never mind.
having it.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'll have a beer, and like maybe I was like, give me like something stronger so I can just catch up with this fucking idiot like a little bit, you know. And like, you know, it's like at this point, like you're off in your own fucking world, just like I'm gonna go like do this and that and this and this. Cut to like you're on the other side of the bar. So I can like see you, and like Matt's working my side of the bar, and I don't know, there's like 2 girls sitting there with like their 2 boyfriends, obviously, that are like bigger than us. And like not fat, but like bigger than us, like they're just like made of fucking muscle and shit. And,
Just
like,
fucking stout.
just
dude.
like dudes. Like who the fuck are we, like musician, like rocker dudes, like
just skinny little
like
spit fucks.
we could probably like punch them a lot and they wouldn't even like hurt them at all, you know.
Yeah.
So and like you're just like talking shit,
like,
like
"Oh,
like
that's
not even like doing anything weird, but just like being there, just like drunk as shit and like creeping these girls out, not on purpose. And like Matt's like, dude, you gotta go like check on your boy over there. I'm like, fuck, man. All right, damn it. Like I knew this was coming. So I'm like, I go over, and like you weren't even like talking to the girls or anything. You just like planted yourself up.
Yeah, I was just being weird and creepy.
Just, but like next to him, like
How
throw like just
uncomfortable
like
can I
yeah,
be
just
with
like
all of these people?
just like swaying back
just
and
like
forth,
throwing
like
off like fucking like territory primal vibes.
Yeah.
You know? And like
just like swaying. I just remember like swaying back and forth.
just like, what's up, you know? And I'm like, I come over to you. I'm like, Justin, dude, like come over and let's go upstairs and have a smoke. And you're like, yeah, I don't want to have a smoke. I'm like, dude, just come upstairs and have a smoke with me. Let's get out of here. Like I'm sick of this place. He's like, no, fuck that. I don't want to go have a cigarette right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why, dude? He's just, why won't you come smoke with me? I'm going. He's just like, well, I'll tell you why. And it's just like, because I want to fight these 2 motherfuckers. And, I'm like, and just pointing at the 2 big boyfriends. And I'm like,
God.
whoa, oh, shit. And like, luckily they weren't like too fucking lit up yet.
Oh my
Where like,
God.
they were just going to like jump both of our asses or
Oh
you.
my God.
And I'm just like, whoa, he doesn't mean it. He's like, yeah, dude, fuck you. I'm like pulling you out of the boat.
Dude, Travis talked him down.
And like
Because
pulling
I
you out
want
of
to
the
fight
street.
these motherfuckers.
It's just like the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like, why won't you go and have a smoke with me, dude? Well, I'll tell you why. Just like, pause. Because I'm going to fight these 2 motherfuckers
Oh my
for
God.
no reason.
And then my friend Alex
Cruising
that was
for
there,
a
the one that
reason.
stole the jacket, he was like, "Nah, man, you cool, dude. You Gucci, bro.
You Gucci as
You
shit,
Gucci,
dude. You
bro.
Gucci."
Just
If
chill out,
anybody
man. You
tells you you're
Gucci."
Gucci, you should never take their advice ever.
Dude, but it was just
Anyway.
like, and then finally we got you upstairs. And luckily, I mean, the 2 dudes were just like, I'm like, dude, I have no idea. It's like, yeah, it's fine. It's cool. It's cool. He's like really fucked up. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, he is. But I think
If it
after
wasn't
that-
for Travis, I would have probably
Well,
gotten
Travis is
killed
a very
by that.
calming nature. Like, remember when we got
No, you
pulled
probably
over
would've
in
just
New
got your
Orleans
ass
and
beat
like I was
down
like,
and-
we're all gonna die.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
have been the first time that
fine.
Travis has saved me from getting the ass whooping.
Sure, blacked
Dude.
out.
DUI checkpoint, New Orleans, a couple of years ago. This guy's like, yeah, bro, fine, blah, blah, blah. Moved on. I'm like, if that was me, I would have been arrested.
Yeah,
oh yeah, like when you had like I wasn't. None of us were drunk.
No, but like,
But
you
it's
had,
like we're like
you
in
had
insane
drinks.
Slaminy Parish.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
had
two beers,
drinks, yeah.
but Justin's like packing a pocket full of mushrooms.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck.
But also,
shit.
you guys are like
Just
long-haired
it's the
musician
bad
guys. You're not
seed.
like,
It's just like, Jesus, God damn it! Like, this is anywhere else.
the guys, remember my other friend Travis that you met when we were back in town?
Oh
The
yeah.
kind of big dude.
Yeah.
Last time, the year before we were in town, I got him so drunk when we were out at Chimes. He
Oh, yeah.
doesn't take shots apparently.
You're telling me it was just
We're
like
just
leaned
pounding
over.
shots.
no, because
I had to carry him to I had to call my dad to pick us up to take him back to his dad's house because he couldn't remember his address.
Right, and you looked on his license.
Yeah, I had to like take his license out of
And
his
it's his
wallet.
parents' house.
And so when he came out with me this year, his girlfriend was like, "You going the same Justin from last year?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going out with the same guy." She's like, "No shots."
No shot.
Dude, the
Oh,
moment
it's like-
you mentioned
I'm just
shots,
like
he
the
was
bad
like,
seed.
no, dude, he's like, anyway, I gotta go. The
Bad-
moment we mentioned shots, because he's like, I don't have the capacity.
Yeah.
And my
It's
wife
like,
will
no
be-
more
couldn't-
brown shots.
Yeah,
no more brown shots.
Dude,
because like
Travis,
last year it was tequila. You know, I'm great with tequila.
I just feel like all the dark alcohols, because like if I
Any dark
slip in
alcohol,
some
yeah,
red
I'm fine.
wine at the end of the night, I'm like, why are you acting like a maniac?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's no good.
Dark alcohol for me is just
it's terrible. And not to make
well.
Justin look like the worst person here. I mean, I've had my fair share of.
and me,
Whiskey.
dude. Me and you both together. Like Felipe and Zach saw it that one. Remember,
Yeah, we're about to fucking fight each
we
other.
were like fighting each other outside
To
of
the
here,
death.
and that was the first time Zach and Felipe ever saw me and him both like raise our voices ever, and we were like
no, because you guys are so calm.
freaking out on each other.
But here's the
They're
thing.
like, "Oh,
There's something to be said. Like you guys,
brotherly squad."
you guys are friends
Squall.
from like a long time, and you can
Yeah.
only like muster that type of rage on alcohol normally from somebody you've known forever, and you're like, I know after this we're still gonna be cool no matter what. You
For
know?
sure, yeah.
Right, but it's with the whiskey. It's just like it just comes.
No,
Yeah.
and you
Dude,
don't.
there were times
it's
me,
like
him,
you
and
can't
Nick were
put
like
the
outside,
toothpaste
just like
back in the tube.
Fighting
you know?
each other.
fighting.
You can't
fighting
put the
each other.
toothpaste back in the tube. You know, you got to
Yeah.
prevent being an
Right.
asshole. and
So
saying,
stick to the tequila and mezcal shots,
Yeah.
boys and girls,
oh my
because
god,
you'll be happy there.
I
And
like
whippets.
I like mezcal.
I never get physical or ever on whiskey. I mean, except for with Justin and like Nick or something. But
Right.
Usually, I'm just like telling people to go fuck themselves and asking for
Yeah.
my ass to get kicked.
You've always been very, very, certainly the most patient dude I've ever met.
yeah.
And it has rubbed off on me. I gotta say,
Good.
like I've gotten as I've grown, I
A
stopped
regular Tony
doing,
Robbins over
stopped drinking whiskey. That helped out a lot. But just hanging out with you in general, Travis, like your persona has rubbed off on me, to where like I've every situation I get into, I notice myself thinking about what would Travis do. Definitely wouldn't freak out, so I'm not gonna freak out. And then I
No,
calm
I think
myself
about that
down.
a lot with you
Right.
too, because you're like,
here. Go fucking slash their tires.
I
Yeah.
will- I will like overthink too much and like be too mad about something that doesn't really matter. Where I'm like trying to like explain myself or prove myself, and you're just very like, dude, who cares? You know you're right. What the
Easy
fuck-
going is what
Yeah,
people have
yeah.
told
What
me.
the fuck difference does it make?
But I wish I could
everything-
take my
And I'm
was
like, but
gonna
they
be
need to
funny.
know that they're wrong.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, they don't.
And I need to be the one
I need
tell
to
them.
fucking tell them they suck. And he's like, no, fuck them. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's pretty nuts.
It's like, what does that benefit?
But I've also seen like all three of us start to get a little feisty at any given time, and the other two always adapt
Yeah.
and like manage.
But for the most part,
Well,
like,
yeah, I was, like,
nowadays,
fucking
if me and
freaking
you
out
get
on your
heated,
shit.
dude, we just kind of just walk away from each other.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
Talking
okay.
shit, walking away from
Well,
each
yeah,
other.
he's
But,
done. Yeah, it's
but
like fuck you. We'll
Yeah.
see you at fucking. Like,
we got those eyes,
yeah.
but then we
like,
still are
well,
just
we
walking
were-
away from each other.
right,
Like the last time we got heated was here,
right. It was me.
and
It was like being a
you guys
fucking prick.
left, and I stayed here for a while after, just like playing guitar,
Yeah, but it's like you
That's
knew
great.
then
just like
too.
crying
You knew.
and
Were you
and decompressing.
crying? No.
Well, yeah, because it's
He's a crazy artist.
That's
Why don't
right.
you pop your top
it takes
off
a
real quick,
lot.
Taylor?
It takes,
He's very.
It's just because it
emotional.
takes. I'm very emotional, man.
No, but
yes.
it's like, but
it
you-
takes a lot for me and Travis to get mad at each other and not agree on something.
No, but you
so
knew,
when
like
it happens,
you knew,
I'm just
and
like,
both of you know,
yeah,
like
I
nothing
don't
really
get-
happened that night, and it was just like a like.
Yeah, we're
it's,
just drunk.
It's fucking alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were just.
We pounded like 36 damn beers.
No, there was just like a
Miller Lights.
energetic situation where but you knew in that moment not to try and solve it
Right.
and be like, okay, I'm gonna
But
talk to you
but
about this later.
but as usual, I was the one that escalated it because I was like,
because you were like,
'cause I
let's
was
figure
like-
it out.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck's your problem, bro?
Right. And I
that was
already
me
can't
saying
explain
that.
myself.
And then you were
I'm
just like,
well, fuck you.
yeah, you're just like,
No, but
I'm
that's-
out of here.
But that's also when you get to the points of where you like think you already said it and you probably did, but then you keep repeating it and it's like, oh man, we're all just drunk.
But yeah, that night I just ended up staying here for like 2 hours because I had the keys, so I was like, yeah, I'll lock up, fine. I just like set a mic up, I set the PA up, I just like played and just
And that's where
Decompressed.
That's how Kiss from a Rose was written.
I've been yelled at by Travis again.
ooh.
Crying at Golden Beach. Don't listen to me.
Anyway, so
I
yeah.
have to pee.
Stay away from the brown liquor.
So bad.
Stick to the clears.
Here, I'll
could
I'll finish this beer off. You just pee in this.
Sign us off, Jesse.
We could talk all fucking night. Frank.
We could,
So
we could,
we're
we
gonna-
could.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Hardway Pod. We're gonna be back next week with another episode. Of course. Thank you, Justin and Travis, for coming here. I do want to say something about them before I ask them to promote anything, and that's they just had a really awesome song come out. It's available on Spotify and iTunes. It's called Stuck in the Middle. And I'm actually helping them produce and edit a music video for that. We've only done the promo. I will include all the links for all this shit when I post this. But we're going to do a full music video soon. And they've got a lot of other stuff coming out. Like, what's the name, Justin, of the show? Travis?
It's called Good Trouble.
Good Trouble. And it's Feel Alive. That's going to come out soon. We don't know yet. Maybe March. But the moment I get that, I'll add it to the thing. Lots of cool songs. Check them out. And anything else you guys want to talk about? What's your Instagrams? Follow at the Alrights on Instagram. Yes, it's just like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, we're gonna be having a lot of new music coming out soon.
Cool.
So stay tuned. And I want to bring up another thing: diplomacy, foreign policy. I'm just joking.
See you guys next week.
I don't remember.
Nailed it.
I don't remember the rest.
Do, do, do. Wee.
Perfect.
I don't know how he does the kazoo. Whenever I try to do it, I can't.
What's that? The end part?
Wee.
Just-
Nailed it.
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that was it. Can you
So-
believe it?
It's like
Kazoo Song live.
There you go.
And over and out.